Good morning. This week we're all getting in the holiday spirit as we get ready for Thanksgiving, but also as we start to look ahead to Christmas. This Sunday is going to be the first Sunday of the season of Advent. Advent is the 4 Sundays that lead up to Christmas, a time when we focus on what it means to prepare our hearts, to prepare our minds, and to prepare our lives to be able to celebrate the birth of Christ. In fact, Dr. Long is working on his Advent sermon series this week. That's why I'm your host for Coffee with Bob throughout this week. He's going to be getting ready for our Advent sermon series. I know it's going to be a special time of worship at St. Luke's and getting ready as we celebrate the birth of a newborn king. It is going to be so special this year, even as it is so different. I know that many of you may have your own Advent traditions or Christmas traditions, things that you do with your family or at your house to help you get ready for the Christmas holiday. Maybe you decorate your house in certain ways. Maybe you have certain foods that you eat or certain meals that you make. Maybe it's listening to Christmas music or having Christmas parties with your friends every year. Well, there's things that we do to help us get in the Christmas spirit. Certainly this year, some things are going to be different for us as we prepare for Christmas in the middle of a pandemic. Some things aren't going to look quite the same. And maybe as you're approaching Thanksgiving and as you're approaching Christmas, you might be finding it hard to be able to get into the spirit of the season. So I wanted to offer a suggestion to you today. It was a few years ago at St. Luke's that we had the Year of Gratitude. It was an entire year where we focused on what it means to live in a spirit of gratefulness. All year long, we talked about taking time to express our gratitude to others. With this week being Thanksgiving, with tomorrow being Thanksgiving, I thought it just seemed appropriate for us to go back and revisit what it means to live in a spirit of gratitude, to be able to truly live in a spirit of thanksgiving. The idea for the entire year of the Year of Gratitude came from a book called 365 Thank Yous. The book was written by a man named John Kralik. John was telling a story of how he was going through an especially difficult time in his life. His marriage had fallen apart. His current relationship was really struggling. His relationship with his kids was not where he wanted it to be. His career was on a downhill slide. He was in financial ruins. He was having a really hard time in life. It was on New Year's Day that he went out into the foothills of the mountains around Pasadena, California. He went for a hike one day, and as he got up on top of the mountains, he sat down and he just began to reflect on life and everything that was going on, and he really wanted things to be able to start to get better. And suddenly he said it was like a voice that just spoke to him, and he heard these words, and the voice said, "Until you learn to be grateful for the things you have, you'll never receive the things you want." Until you learn to be grateful for the things you have, you'll never receive the things you want. As his life was falling apart around him, he said these words just stuck out to him, just hit him like a ton of bricks. He made the decision that day that on January 1st, New Year's Day, that day, he was going to start writing a thank you note every single day for the entire year. 365 thank you notes. He ended up writing this book to tell the story of how this year of writing thank you notes changed his life. As he went through this year thinking about all of the people and the things for which he had to be grateful for, it just changed his perspective. Rather than thinking about all that was falling apart around him, all that was going wrong, instead it helped him to turn his gaze to all of the blessings that he was experiencing in life. It totally began to change his life and his relationships, and the way that he was experiencing everything every day. The reality is that whenever you and I experience gratitude and when we live in a spirit of gratitude, it changes the way that we view life as well. We heard that from so many of you as we went through the Year of Gratitude. We heard your stories of how it changed your perspective on your situations, of how it helped you to see the blessings that you have. It changed your outlook on how you treated one another. This Advent season, this Thanksgiving, if you're having a hard time getting in the spirit of the season, I want to encourage you to take this time to write a thank you note every single day. If you begin writing a thank you note every day from Thanksgiving until Christmas, I believe it's going to change your experience of this season. I think that your outlook might change. And rather than focusing on all the things that are different this year, all the things that might not be exactly the way we would want them to be, maybe you and I might just start to see how blessed we really are, all that we have to be grateful for, and maybe you and I will begin to treat each other in a different way, sharing those blessings, living in a spirit of gratitude wherever we go. You and I might just find that living in a spirit of gratitude might do more for us to get us in a spirit of Thanksgiving and Christmas than any party could ever do. I hope today you go and live in a spirit of Thanksgiving and make it a great day.